Let's take a look, though, at the highlights from a frenetic opening race of the weekend in the Ginetta Junior Championship. Isaac Phelps started from pole position. Chase Fernandez started alongside, but didn't get a great run into the first corner and was immediately dumped down into fourth place. That was, though, still several places ahead of his big championship rival, Ethan Jeff Hall, who had a poor qualifying effort and had to dig his way up the order from 9th on the grid and could see his championship lead was dwindling. Fernandez was making some real cut and thrust moves, and at this point had the assistance of his teammate Marcus Sater as well, who pushed him past Henry Joslyn down the back straight and up into second position. That separated the pair, and Chase Fernandez had to go it alone from that point onwards. Had a go at Isaac Phelps, and then a defining moment, a snap of oversteer coming out of Sterling's corner, put him through the gravel, damaged the back of the car. He was able to carry on, and then Charlie Hart had a pop at Isaac Phelps for the lead, briefly went through, but had braked himself at Paddock Hill Bend and skated through the gravel. He would have to pit for repairs as a result. All of this put Fernandez and Ethan Jeff Hall back together on the track, battling with their R-Racing teammates Alfie Slater and Marcus Sater. Ethan Jeff Hall got past Sater in the final third of the race, but Chase Fernandez could not find a way by his teammate, who was desperately defending the position. At the front, Isaac Phelps held on to the win. Henry Joslyn came home in second position, but Ethan Jeff Hall beat Chase Fernandez and extends his championship margin overnight.
I never knew I was going to be on the podium, because you never know, like especially in Ginetta Juniors. But when I got past Marcus and he sort of gave me the let's push, I was like, okay, now we can have a proper go at it. But I'd like to thank Marcus, because it was good teamwork.
When you see great racing like that and you were out there on the track doing it, how satisfying is that for you as a driver?
Well, it's satisfying when you come out in the right way, but sometimes it doesn't always turn out right. But when it does, it's a good feeling. Every position's better, but as long as R-Racing do a good job in their, well, they've already run their championship, which is great, and hopefully Ethan and Chase and Marcus can go 1, 2, 3.
How much do you enjoy racing here at Brands Hatch, and what challenges does it bring for you?
It's such a cool track, but the elevation changes and the camber, and it's got a mix of everything. So you might be good on the camber, but you've also got to be good down the slopes, like turn 1, really, really slopey. And then you've got uphills, corners like turn 6 and turn 7. So
at first it was a massive pack for the battle for the lead, and it ended up being us two, just from people making mistakes and coming off. So I'm really happy that I wasn't one of those people and ended up with P2.
How important was it then to keep a clear mind at that point?
Yeah, obviously try not to get too excited, because then you could throw it off yourself, but managed to keep my head and come away P2.
You were pushing very hard. Did you think you would be able to catch Isaac at the end?
Yeah, I caught him a bit, but he just managed to keep a big enough gap that I couldn't quite get down his inside. But well done to him, and really happy that I managed to come with P2 with teams last weekend, this weekend, so happy to get a podium for them.
After a tricky year from winning at the start, and now we've got our win at the end, which I'm so happy with, to fight back, and then hopefully we can go from P4, 6 to P4 in the championship at the end of this weekend. I think that's P5 now, but we'll keep on working, and it's second in the rookies.
It was very close battle out there on track, certainly at the end of that race. Were you worried at any point?
I mean, I had to defend for my life at the middle of it, which was quite scary, but I think towards the end, when Henry started to catch me, the nerves started to creep in a little more. But I'm happy with how it went, and the pace we had was mega, so I was just able to keep the gap enough.
It's a 20-minute race, but it seems to go past very quickly, does it, when you're behind the wheel?
Yeah, it felt a lot longer when you're at the front than when you're at the back, but it was it was good fast towards the end, but in the middle it was like, how long's left?
You enjoying it?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So you've got 2 races tomorrow, the final 2 of this season. Are you going to go for race wins, or is it going to be the championship position for you now?
Well, we're going to go for race wins, so that's the best way to get the championship position, but I think we should work on just beating our championship position rivals, and then trying to work for the championship position. But yeah, so happy. Yeah, such a tough race. Everyone was dead close then. It's kind of the same as yesterday. Yesterday didn't go as well for us, but we've come away with a podium today. Massive thanks to my teammate Marcus for helping me out. Yeah, good result.
When it doesn't go your way in the first race, how do you build the confidence going into the next one?
Yeah, it's a case of resetting overnight and just forget what's happened and move on. There's nothing you can do about it after a bad race, but you can focus on the next two and just improve on it.
So what are you going to take from this one going into the final one this afternoon?
Well, we've got to go for the win, haven't we? We'll be starting on third, which means starting on the inside for turn one, and yeah, we'll see if we can get a good launch and hopefully come away with a P1 trophy.
Yeah, it was loads of fun towards the end as well when Chase caught us up, and it was like, well, I've got to do what I can to keep this because I just didn't have the pace to catch Charlie after leading at the start. He was just faster. But yeah, on the last lap, Chase just hit me and then I went sideways and he got by. But then I did a move around the outside to keep it. And I've still got, like, my hands are still shaking.
I mean, very impressive to be leading the race, I think, for the first sort of 10 minutes or so, but frustrating to lose it, but you obviously knew you still had work to do.
Yeah, I lost it down to P3 and then I instantly did Chase, which was good, but then just trying to catch Charlie, he just drove it perfectly and there was not really a lot I could do to catch up.
So what's your thoughts going into the final race this weekend?
Just try and go for the win, and then maybe just work with Charlie, just go with the races how it goes.
Now the conditions today are a little bit different to yesterday. Have they changed much, and has the car changed much?
Yeah, these conditions are a lot cooler, so it was a bit different considering that was our first time on track today. But I think the setup we have is good for it, and I think going into the last one we're confident as to how that's a similar time to what happened yesterday, so it should be quite similar conditions.
Yeah, really good. Obviously yesterday didn't go my way. Went for a move for the lead, but it didn't pay off and ultimately ended my race. But you know, that's racing, that happens. I woke up this morning, you know, I feel like I had to avenge myself for yesterday and win the race, and did just that really, so yeah.
How are you feeling sort of right at the start of the race? I mean, obviously you've got a plan in your mind, but you've got to go with what's happening in front of you. How did it pan out for you?
So ultimately just get off the line well. You have to do that in every race if you want to win. Try and make as many positions as you can on lap one because the cars are the closest together on lap one. Yeah, I overtook Ruben, my teammate, on lap one into third, and then some drivers made a few mistakes in front of me, got in front, did some good overtakes, and yeah, it was just minimalising my mistakes to win the race, so yeah.
And when you took the lead, were you quite confident you could keep it?
Yeah, I feel like my pace was quite good throughout the race. You know, I managed to hold everyone behind when I got in the lead, so happy with the pace, and yeah, a bit stressful, but so happy that we won.
Ethan, many congratulations. You've taken the 2024 championship. How does that feel?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. Obviously, my first year in cars, so I'm over the moon. Can't thank everybody enough. They've done a great job this season. So yeah.
What was your thoughts as you sort of started the season? What was your sort of strategy ahead?
We didn't really have a strategy. Obviously, we wanted to be up there in the top 5, top 3, but yeah, obviously being first year in cars was always going to be tough. But we came out the block strong. I think it was double pole and race 1 win at Alton, so that was a great start to the season. And then there's a few little mistakes from me. Obviously never really drove in the wet before, so going into Alton race 2 and 3, that was very tough. And then we're sort of just learning throughout the year, learning from the mistakes, and got to the stage where it was consistently up there in the top 3, and I just cracked on and I did the best we could.
It's pretty amazing your first year in cars, as you say. You've gone through a few challenges, but you've overcome them. What's the biggest thing you've learned?
I think the racing is very different. Obviously, it takes a lot longer to get past people, so you have to be a bit more cautious, time your moves, really think about where you're going to get them. I think that's been one of the main things this year, and also the weight transfer of the car's been hard to get used to at the start, but picked up that quite quickly, so I think we did a good job.
And how much has your racecraft developed?
Obviously I had quite good racecraft from karting, but this has just made it definitely a lot better. Like I said, it's very different to racing karts, so it's helped a lot.
And what's the plan for now, for next year?
We don't know yet. It all depends on the budget, but the aim is to go something like GB4 or F4, but we'll see.
The last race of the season in the Ginetta Junior Championship took place without the champion-elect Ethan Jeff Hall. But don't worry, everyone else was ready and raring to go to put on a show that kept the crowd here at Brands Hatch thoroughly entertained. It was Charlie Hart who led from his Elite Motorsport teammate Isaac Phelps at the start of the race. This was about as calm as things got though, because over the next 20 minutes, they and several other drivers would engage in a truly sensational battle for the victory. Chase Fernandez, his chances of a championship may have gone, but he wanted to round the season out with a race win, made this brilliantly aggressive move around the outside of everyone at Druids to eventually break into third place, then tried to go second at Surtees, climbed up the curve, knocked into the side of Isaac Phelps, but did find his way into the runners-up spot. That then became the lead with a good opportunistic move out of Westfield against Joslyn, with Charlie Hart slotting through into second position. At this point, there were 7 or 8 of them who realistically could have won the race, and positions were changing by the corner. Charlie Hart got back to the lead half a lap or so later, and then Chase Fernandez made an audacious late-braking manoeuvre up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend. There was contact between the two of them. They both washed out wide, and Henry Joslyn saw his chance to get back into the lead of the race, and at just the right moment, because from this point on, it was all about the battle for second place. As they were knocking looks out of each other, Joslyn started to pull away. Charlie Hart eventually broke through into second place, caught Joslyn by the flag, but didn't quite have time to make the move. Joslyn then rounds out the season with a win.
Hectic, very hectic, and you know, anyone could have come out on top, and to come away with a podium I think is a massive achievement there, because you know, we're all so close and it was a great fight. Just really enjoyed the race, to be honest. Good fun.
You're here developing your racecraft. Would you say that racing so close against the competition is something that you value?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Ginetta Juniors has proved itself as the closest and the best junior championship in the world, and for all of us to gain experience here is mega, and it's going to put us in good stead for the future.
What's it like behind the wheel? Can you tell us?
Hot, hectic, pretty much every adjective out there is going on in the car, and you know, we're all so close, and everyone's feeling different emotions at different times, and you know, we've all come away happy today. It's been a great weekend of racing.
So how would you summarise your season?
Mega. You know, I've got the most wins out of anyone this season, and that's incredible. We've moved up in the championship, and to be P2 at the end of it, I'm absolutely buzzing with. And we wrapped up the team's championship a bit ago, which is brilliant for our racing. Yeah, buzzing.
What's the biggest thing you've learnt?
Racecraft, definitely. I've done the last 2 years in juniors. I've got to thank Ginetta for putting me on the grid the first year with the scholarship, and you know, the close racing in juniors, it's just, you can't find it anywhere else in the world. It's mega, and definitely I've gained a lot of experience both as a driver and just as a person off the track, being in the paddock. Yeah,
it was probably the best race of my Ginetta Junior career. Yeah, I mean, any one of, I think maybe like the top 9 could have won that. Just straight up scrap for 20 minutes. So yeah, really happy with second. A great race, almost had a Henry at the end.
How physical is it behind the wheel for you?
In a race like that, you don't get a chance to take a breath. So yeah, really physical. I'm just happy to come in with a great result.
How would you summarise your season?
Good. Yeah, very, very good. Happy with it.
And looking at Brands Hatch as a circuit to end the event on, how challenging and how satisfying was it?
This track is one of my personal favourites, you know, full of high speed, dangerous corners, which is what you love as a racing driver, gets your adrenaline pumping. And the racing is always mega, as we've all just proved there. So yeah, great race.
Well, it seems very much that, you know, Ginetta's is the place to be.
Yeah, 100%. Get yourself down to Ginetta Juniors.
It felt really, really good. It was such a good race, so much carnage, so much battling. But I'm really happy that I managed to come on top and finish a really good high to the season.
Do you want to put the hat on? Sorry, I didn't realise. How challenging was that race, Henry? It looked like the lead was changing time and time again, so you had to fight quite hard for that.
Yeah, it was a really, really tough race. It felt like the race was like 2 hours long, not 20 minutes. Time went really slow, but really happy that at the end I managed to get in the lead and keep it.
Were you happy with the battle that ensued?
Yeah, definitely. It was really fun. I think a couple of guys came over to me saying like how good the race was, and definitely one of the best races I've ever raced.
So you've had a second to reflect. How would you summarise your season?
It was all right. A few up and downs, but I'm just really happy that I managed to end it on a high.